Today I want to talk about aura colors with you guys, and as you know, I can see people's auras, and most definitely I've also read mine. But as I told you guys earlier, also I'm a magician, so my color of my aura always changes and it's not fixed. So basically, people will tell you that you're one color of this aura, but you perceive yourself as something different. If you can also read yourself, or if you realize that you get a lot of different readings. So it's really important to kind of also look up the auras and see that if you can relate to it and what you are going through in your life, and it might relate to why you have this color of the aura. As I said, if it's a really dark color and if it's very murky around your aura color, it just means that you're going through a really tough time, like stress, a medical illness, physical illness, or you have trauma, and that means your body needs to rest. And basically, I would make a video on how our body and our trauma and our anxiety are linked together, and how you can also learn how to relax your body and also clear your aura. So I've seen aura colors, especially on myself that time, because I could just look at myself and I told myself, you are sick. And at a point of time, I don't know what I am sick about, so I was also questioning myself, why am I sick? So that time, I realized that my hair started to fall. And as my hair started to fall, I realized that this doesn't happen to me before. And also, I started to notice that there's a lot of hair. And obviously, I kind of freaked out myself because I am also very protective of why things happen to me. And I realized I had to do a check. So the doctor told me eventually that I have low blood folate, and eventually I cured. And I still struggle with hair loss a lot because I don't have a lot of strength of hair, and obviously I think this is just me, even though it's normal because doctor told me that it's just a little bit hair loss and everybody experiences that. But if you have a clump of hair that is like this, all the hair here on your shower drain, you probably have depression. I think that's the way you can tell if you're depressed, because I saw on TikTok. And let me get this clear. I also think that I was also depressed or was diagnosed with depression, but the thing is, I'm mainly just stressed, and I like to combat all my negativity and let it pass like a river flowing, because I don't want to make myself have a really distressing mental health. So that's how I battle it, and you can too. But obviously, if you have depression, I personally, because I also battled with it before, and I think I probably battle with it almost every day, or when things get tough, like when I'm really stressed, I would want to try to ignore it. I think gaslighting is the most important thing, like not caring about things, which is really hard because I myself care a lot, but if you already have other things to that you suffer from, it's important not to really entertain or engage with these thoughts of negativity, because it will make your aura very dark, very murky. And the most important thing about having an aura is that your aura is supposed to be clear. It isn't supposed to be murky. What I mean murky is that, for example, if you have a blue color aura, your whole aura around your head should be all blue, light blue or dark blue, and there shouldn't be any cloudy things. That's what I mean by murky. Murky is something that is really bad because you know that you are stressed and you are sick. So yeah, and the only way to know that you are clear and you have a healthy aura is when you don't have any signs of being murky around yourself, of your aura, because it is a bad state to be in. Also, I've also read people's aura. So as you guys can guess, when I was suffering from low blood folate, my whole aura was black color, and it is something that really means that I am physically sick, I need medical help, or that I'm really depressed. So as you guys know, physical illness and mental illness are both interconnected with each other. And I think that it's important to take care of this too, because one of it will exacerbate the other one, and it will definitely reflect on your color and your aura. You can also know that if you sit beside someone, you get this feeling of being anxious, calm, or sad just by being next to this person, which I haven't physically felt before, but I saw it and I realized that it could be true. But for me, I'm a very calculated person. If I know what you did to me, what you said to me, or that, you know, I feel like you really have something just because of what you said to me. I'm very heavy on words. So if you ever want to just side a person, you got to understand their words. For me, it's important to know what they say to you. Is it of something bad or negative content? Because when you are with someone who keeps telling you negative things about yourself or towards you, or maybe if you're very sensitive, like, because for me, I tend to have people who tell me about problems, and it's not really something I can heavily take on because I get really affected too. So it's important to also know what they're talking to you, and if they really like insult you, it's just something that you really don't want to claim. Because if you ever see this person again, you would still feel like the words are still there. For me, I think I am just like this. I don't really want to forgive easily. Even if I do, the words are always the one that really ticks me off, because like I said, you can feel the energy when you're beside this person. But for me, my mind has always been, okay, you said this to me, it's not nice, I'm not going to really want to be with you for a long time. Time, space is very important for you. When you have time and space, you want to value it and you want to protect it. So the next way to also protect your aura is to just not be with certain people who bring you down or you can't understand about, because that is what you really don't want to make yourself fall into a spiral. Alright, so the next one is that if you want to ask what is the most powerful aura color that a person can have, when I googled it, it said indigo. Indigo is a light shade of purple. So basically, I had this color of aura before, but since my aura is not fixed, it just simply means this person is connected to their self, their consciousness, and their utmost power of themselves. When I mean that the person is having great consciousness about themselves, it means that they are grounded in the person they are, and they are also able to receive messages from other things. For me, I have been a skeptic of angel numbers and seeing things, but as I think to myself, which I don't really do, and which I don't hear a voice when I read anything, I know that if I'm thinking to myself and I get like numbers in front of me, like 88, like the same three numbers, I also went to also search it up, and there is a great meaning. So it's like an acknowledgement of me being aware of things and seeing things and accepting the message, because that is confirming what I think about to myself. And what you think about yourself is the most important thing, because what you say to yourself, you believe it, and what you also entertain with yourself, like your negative thoughts, you also believe it, which is really important to fight off and to protect yourself from these thoughts where you really think that you are a bad person, or that you are this and that, or you start to compare yourself to others. I have struggled with that before, and I may struggle with this again, but what I tell myself is that I don't want to believe it. It's as simple as like me telling myself, like, I hear voices that tell me something that I don't want to tell myself. So why should I entertain my thoughts to myself? Or why should I entertain someone who tells me negative things to me? It was really hard, but like it's something that you want to ignore and something you don't want to absorb. So yeah, so that is the meaning of how it is the most highest aura color. It just means that you have this power that you have in yourself, and that you don't have anything that you want to influence you. The next aura color I want to talk about is red. A red aura color means that you are in love, you're very optimistic, but mainly I want to associate this dark red color for being active and vital. So basically, let me just say, because I've googled it and correct myself, light red aura means that you are in love and you are just, like deeply like loving something, loving someone. And for just the color red, like I said, because it's like vitality means like being like physically like active, like being very healthy kind of in a way. Yeah, it just means if you see a person with a red aura, and I've said it before, it just means that this person can obviously burn off what they have, like physical illness, with exercise and sweat, or like just walking around. Like if they sweat, if you have a red aura, if they sweat, it means like they're burning something that is not good for them inside the body, which is good. Exercise in itself is good also, just walking around or dancing or literally exercise, because you get to know that this person is shedding off what they really don't want, because everybody has experiences stress, or because some things like some medical illnesses, if you exercise, it will like help you a lot, and like to combat fatigue. So I feel like it's very important to also know that it's possible to kind of be healthy just by sweating for red color auras. Also, it's also important for this person to know that if this person has a red color aura, if they get angry, you should stay away, because they are very, very angry. And that means if they're angry, they would do a lot of damage. So the next color I want to talk about is blue. I've noticed in my siblings that they have blue color auras. Blue color auras are very talented. So I've also noticed light blue auras and dark blue auras. For me, I personally had light blue aura before, and it basically just means like because I like to sing, and I love to sing, I love music, and that means that people with light blue auras, 25 and below, they have this talent to sing. And obviously, because I like the arts, I'm very passionate, I always continue singing no matter if someone tells me I'm good or bad, because I just love it. But for darker blue aura shades, it's like something that is like known to be like under like healthcare workers, or basically anybody who has a very demanding job. And my siblings are always known for that, because I can't do like a full time, and when I saw this in my siblings, it just means they are very like skilled in what they do. And blue color auras are alright, they're very peacemaking, they're very they're just there, and they really want to like serve a purpose in society. And yeah, so I want to point out also that purple is similar to indigo, but because of purple, they kind of get too dreamy. And like I said, like indigo is the most highest color aura anyone can have based on Google, and it just means like you're the same as indigo. You get to like receive messages, affirm your thoughts by things, by numbers, or being open to the spiritual world. When I say that spiritual world releasing the third eye is good and it's bad, you get to also see that it's good because get to be more spiritual. Like for example, for me, I realized I started to get this really random things that happen to me. For example, recently I have this like water that lands on me on my hand out of nowhere, and I resist it, and it just basically means someone or something is protecting me. So these kind of messages are like the messages where you kind of like get to know yourself. That is nice. So it's kind of like enhancing positivity in yourself. So basically, this is what purple also does, similarly to indigo. But purple can get too absorbed in their daydreams, which makes them a bit untouched, And it's important that, for purple to also like kind of like ground themselves. I've read certain things about grounding yourself. All you can do is place your feet on the floor and imagine that there's roots coming out from it, or just being grounded, putting your feet on the floor and just getting back in the moment, because there are sometimes there are just ways that people can get very overwhelmed, especially for people with autism or people who are very extremely sensitive to sensory things like light or anything like that. Or if you're going to have like a mental breakdown, it's important to ground yourself, because these things, if you just pretend that you're okay or you know how to numb your feelings, eventually your color of your aura is going to be very murky or very dark, which is black or gray. And it's just something that is very, very not okay. I think when you sit down with someone, the person can sense it. The person will also not want to really be around you. Okay, so for the next aura is green. I've seen green color aura in people before, and this person I'm talking about is the YouTuber and a TikToker. I was just watching him on live stream, and his color is green. Basically, for light green, I think they are very connected to healing, motherhood, and nature. But for dark green, it means that they are really like hardworking based on Google. So basically, what they ever mean is that if they're in a negative state, they will get really, really jealous. And when they're jealous, it's a bad thing. So basically, you got to also know that when you know your aura color, there's always the good parts of you and the negative parts of you, and it doesn't reflect anything about you. It just means if you get jealous as a green colored aura person, it means you have to really try to really find ways to manage it. Because I have also been troubled with my emotions, but if I let it pass, or if I don't bully myself because I can't control it, then it will definitely help me. What I want to come across as a point to you guys in this video, if you're watching, you should never let your aura color be murky. And the only thing that happens when you have it is because you really have to manage your stress or trauma and your emotions, and that you gain a sense of yourself, and that's the only way to kind of balance out the negative traits that I point out for each and specific colors of the auras I'm telling you. Okay, so for the next color of aura is white color aura, and this color of aura is very rare. Very also important to know that this color of aura is because this person is very spiritual. And one person that I saw this aura about is my mom, because she is very connected to her religion, because she is Muslim, and she always prays and she always reads the holy book, the Quran. And this is also the reason why she has this white color aura, because she's very, very religious, and it's very true. And these people are very enlightened. They can get along with any of the colors, and they have a way of communicating with all of the colors. And there are certain aura colors that simply cannot tolerate each other, and it is normal because people naturally can't really get along with everyone. And it doesn't matter of the aura colors, maybe it's their personality that is conflicting. But yeah, my mom is very fixed white aura color. She's very connected to everything, I'm sure, and she has this way of like just doing her life the best she can. and this is the most rare color, but basically it just means that you're very wise and you have a deep connection with the universe. And for me, I think the only way people can get this color is because they're very connected to their own god, their own religion. That is how people get this color. So today's color I'm gonna talk about is very pronounced in what I have told you at the start of the video, a black color aura. Black color aura means that your aura is basically being blocked by depression, by trauma, by stress, by a lot of negative things. You are sick, you're a medical illness, you need help, you just have a hard time being in control of what you are, and like you don't know your identity very well, because this black aura that is present in a person, a lot of dark energies, a lot of dark entities love to be around this black color aura person, because this person has no sense of being in control of themselves, and these bad spirits, energies, demons love to be around them because it's easier for them to like connect with this person. And this person is in danger of potentially being possessed by these things and just being very, very much, so much likely to be in a mental breakdown or in a spiral. And that is the most prominent thing I want to highlight about black color aura, because if this person doesn't try to ground themselves, this is the most negative part about having a black color aura, they are most likely to get overtaken by these energies and these bad things around them, and there's no way out unless they try to find a way to really tell themselves gently, I don't want to be controlled by anything. Or if they're sick, they have to tell themselves, I need medical help. This is the only way that they have to kind of ground themselves. They couldn't completely get rid of them, but when you have this sense of self where you tell yourself, I'm in control, everything will be okay. The positive part about having black aura is that you're very powerful, you are rich, you are just everything, you are just sophisticated, and you get to, just very, probably just the higher ups people, they have this aura. It just, when they don't have these other spiraling thoughts, or they're not medically sick or depressed, stressed or traumatized, they would definitely be okay having this aura color, because I think aura colors, like, it's just part of you, and because your identity is related to your work, like obviously it will like stand out, and because of your nature of work. This color aura that I've seen people are pink. Pink is a really nice color. It just means that they're very incredibly open to love. They are the embodiment of it. They are kind, they are compassionate, they have a very open heart, they're very, very empathetic also, and they're very happy, and they have this harmony with people. And I think it's a very pretty color, and that's the most important color for friendship. If you see someone with this color, it just wants to be your friend so bad. So these are the colors that I've definitely mentioned to you guys and I saw before personally, so I know what it is like for the people and also for myself. I also want to emphasize that if you see someone that you can't really pinpoint what is their color because they keep changing, it just means they are just like me. They practice magic. Magic is a way of people healing themselves. So for me, that is what I do. But also, there's black magic. That is why people with black color aura, they have it because they also practice that. Like, they dabble with dark arts, they dabble with demons, they just make deals with demons. And that's just the way of what they believe in. But, so basically, it's very, very important to also kind of like know what you're getting into, and a way to kind of, if you can read people's auras, you can also know, oh, this is their color, this is what they really are. And I mean, it really depends on the person because people are really complicated. So if you ever get to know them, talk to them, speak to them, ask them questions, and then you get to really know the person like on based on what they say. And also be careful of what people say to you, because what people say to you, what people say in songs, what people say in, anything that is repeated is basically a form of a hex, a form of a spell, like a ritual. So be careful who you let into your life. If you can't really stand this person, just take a break from that person and just carry on with your life. And I want to tell you guys to also be careful of people who have really murky auras, because they can tend to not look like themselves. And you are having a really, really lucky chance if you can just not entertain them, because I've seen people who have this really black murky aura that they're not even themselves. So it's important not to also communicate with them. Like, it's important to just go away from them. Yeah. Because what you're talking to is not really them. So yeah, it's all the auras that I've clearly explained to you guys, and personally what I've experienced also from other people, from also myself that I mentioned. And I hope you guys can also be okay and not have these murky auras around you. And easiest way to cleanse yourself is to just walk in the rain, and that's all you have to do. Just be more like in tune with nature and love nature, take care of nature, take care of yourself.